Okay, let's dive into this really fascinating linguistic puzzle right from the pages of Scripture. We're going to trace one single powerful Greek word through the Bible, and in doing so, unlock a much, much deeper meaning behind a concept we all think we know.
God and Us presents Proclamation to the Nation.
We all think we know what wrath means, right? I mean, we see it right here in Galatians, listed among these acts of the flesh. It just sounds like explosive, totally destructive anger. But what if the original Greek word is pointing to something way deeper, something connected to the very heart of the entire biblical story? And this is really where our little detective story begins. The English translation gives us one picture, sure, but the original language, well, it holds a clue that completely reframes everything from the Passover to the prodigal son. So to crack this puzzle, the very first thing we have to do is look at the original Greek word that's kind of hidden behind our English translation. The word used in Galatians is Thymos. Now, on the surface, it means pretty much what you'd expect: rage, passion, a kind of boiling anger. It seems straightforward enough. But its origin, its root, that's what is so revealing and honestly completely unexpected. So let's get to the root of the word and see how this all starts to build our case. This, right here, is where the mystery really opens up. And here it is. This is the twist. The root of thymos, our word for intense anger, is Thuo, which means to sacrifice. Now that just stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? It brings up the central question of this whole thing. How on earth does a word for sacrifice become the foundation for a word about wrath? And this is no coincidence, you guys. By tracing this one word, Theo, we can follow this sort of golden thread through Scripture that reveals a really profound theme about the very nature of God's entire plan. All right, so our first stop is the Passover, one of the most foundational events in the entire Bible. And here, sacrifice means purification. The Apostle Paul just makes this connection crystal clear. He directly links Jesus to the Passover lamb. And the word he chooses for sacrificed, it's our key word, theo. So this sacrifice isn't an act of rage. It's an act that purifies and cleanses. Paul keeps this idea going, talking about becoming a new mass or like new dough, without the old ferment or yeast. But what is this ferment he's even talking about? What exactly are we being cleansed from? And this contrast just lays it out so perfectly. On one side, you've got the old ferment of the Pharisees, a religion of empty, external rules and pride. And on the other, the new ferment of the kingdom, a life made possible by a true sacrifice that purifies you from the inside out. Okay. Now, let's see how this exact same word reveals a completely different kind of sacrifice, this time in one of Jesus' most famous parables. So in this story of the prodigal son, the word theo actually shows up 3 times, but it's interpreted in 2 radically different ways, all depending on who is speaking. It's the same act, but you get 2 completely opposite reactions. For the father, the sacrifice of the fattened calf, the best he had, it isn't about punishment or anger at all. It's a joyful, just extravagant celebration. And why? Because his son who was lost, who was for all intents and purposes dead, is alive again. So Theo here is an expression of pure joy. But the older brother, he sees the exact same act of theoleo through a lens of bitterness and jealousy and self-righteousness. He can't see the grace in it. All he sees is an undeserved reward. For him, the sacrifice feels like a total injustice. This is just so powerful. The same word, the same sacrifice, reveals 2 completely different hearts. One heart understands and totally celebrates grace, while the other is stuck in this mindset of works and what's deserved. It really shows us that how we view God's ultimate sacrifice, it truly reveals the state of our own heart. So finally, our little investigation of Theo leads us to the ultimate contrast, a statement from Jesus himself that just brings together all these themes of life and death. Here, Theo is used to describe the enemy's mission. It's a destructive sacrifice, one that takes life and leads to absolute ruin. This is the dark side of the word. But then, in the very next breath, Jesus presents this divine reversal. He contrasts the thief's mission of destructive sacrifice with his own purpose, to give life and life to the full. He reclaims the entire idea of sacrifice, not for destruction, but for redemption. So what have we actually uncovered by following this one simple word? Where has this linguistic trail really led us?
Well, we've seen that the word theleo isn't just about killing. It's about the purpose behind the act. Is it a sacrifice for purification? Is it for celebration? Or is it for destruction? The Bible shows it can be all three, but God's ultimate purpose is always, always life.
So when we put all these clues together, we get this radical reframing. The central story of the Bible isn't about an angry God demanding a wrathful sacrifice to punish sin. No, it's about a loving father making a redemptive sacrifice to bring his lost children home. And this is the question Thuo leaves us with. It completely transforms our understanding, shifting the focus from God's wrath to his incredible celebratory love. It turns a simple word for kill into a profound revelation about the very heart of God.